Hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Charles. In today's video, we are diving into the history, condition, and value of the 1974 United States half-dollar coin. If you've ever come across this coin in your collection, your pocket change, or maybe even inherited it, then stay tuned, because we're going to cover everything from its background, design, condition, and how much it's worth in today's collector's market. The 1974 half-dollar is part of the Kennedy half-dollar series, which began in 1964 following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin was introduced as a way to honor him, and it quickly became one of the most popular pieces of U.S. coinage. BY 1974, the coin was being minted in three primary locations: Philadelphia Mint ** with no mint mark, Denver Mint ** with a D mint mark, San Francisco Mint ** which struck proof coins with an S mint mark. It's important to note that the 1974 half-dollar is made of copper-nickel clad rather than silver. The U.S. Mint stopped producing circulation half-dollars in 90% silver after 1964, and the 40% silver versions were last issued in 1970. So, if you find a 1974 half-dollar, it is not silver unless it's a special error coin. On the obverse, or front side, of the coin, you'll find the bust of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Above his head is the word Liberty, with the motto "In God We Trust" split to the left and right. The date, 1974, sits below the bust. On the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, is the presidential seal. An eagle with a shield holds arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both war and peace. Surrounding it are 50 stars representing the states, with the inscription United States of America and the denomination half-dollar. The 1974 half-dollar had a very large mintage, which makes it a common coin in circulation. Philadelphia struck over 201 million coins. Denver produced more than 79 million coins. San Francisco made around 2.6 million proof coins. Because of these huge mintages, most 1974 half-dollars you come across are considered common. Now, let's talk about value. The majority of circulated 1974 half-dollars are only worth their face value of 50 cents. If you find one in average condition, the kind that's been in circulation for years, with scratches and wear, it usually won't sell for more than $1. However, if you have a coin in better condition, especially in uncirculated or mint state, the value increases. An uncirculated 1974 half-dollar from Philadelphia or Denver typically sells for $2 to $5, depending on grade. Coins graded MS-65 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can be worth $15 to $30. Proof versions from San Francisco are worth around $4 to $10, with deep cameo examples fetching $20 or more. While most 1974 half-dollars are common, collectors always watch out for error coins. Some examples include double die obverse, DDO, ** coins, where lettering or the date appears doubled, off-center strikes **, where the design isn't properly aligned. Clipped planchets **, where part of the coin is missing. These errors can significantly raise the value, sometimes from $50 to several $100s, depending on rarity and condition. As always in coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin pulled directly from a mint set or roll is going to be worth more than one that has circulated for decades. Collectors prefer coins with original luster, sharp details, and minimal marks. If your coin looks shiny, crisp, and nearly flawless, it could be worth sending to a grading service. So, what's the final word on the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar? Common in circulation, usually worth just face value, uncirculated examples worth a few dollars, proofs and high-grade versions worth more, and rare error coins can fetch serious collector interest. If you happen to find one, hold on to it, not just for its value, but also as a piece of American history honoring President John F. Kennedy. Video, we're going to take a deep dive into the 1974 United States half-dollar, also known as the Kennedy half-dollar. We'll explore its fascinating history, design, condition factors, and of course, its collector value. So, if you've ever come across this coin or wondered whether it's worth more than 50 cents, stay tuned, this video is for you. To truly understand the 1974 half-dollar, we need to step back in time and look at the origins of the Kennedy half-dollar series. The story begins in 1963, when President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated in Dallas, Texas. His sudden death shocked not only the United States but the entire world. To honor him, there was an overwhelming public demand for a permanent tribute. Within weeks of his assassination, the U.S. Mint and Congress approved the creation of a coin bearing Kennedy's image. Originally, the plan was to feature Kennedy on either the quarter or the half-dollar. But Jacqueline Kennedy, the First Lady, personally requested that her husband replace Benjamin Franklin on the half-dollar. She believed this denomination would best preserve his memory. Why 1964, the first Kennedy half-dollar was released, struck in 90% silver. The coin became an instant sensation. Millions of Americans rushed to banks to get one, not necessarily for spending, but to keep as a keepsake of their beloved president. In fact, so many people hoarded them that they disappeared from circulation almost immediately. From 1965 to 1970, the mint reduced the silver content to 40% because of rising silver prices and continued hoarding. But even those were rarely used in everyday transactions. By the time the 1970s arrived, the U.S. Mint had transitioned to copper-nickel-clad coinage, the same composition used for quarters and dimes. Now, by 1974, the Kennedy half-dollar had already become more of a collector's item than a coin used in daily commerce. Although over 280 million half-dollars were struck that year, very few Americans were actually spending them. Instead, they were being saved in drawers, jars, and collections. In fact, the half-dollar's decline in circulation use began in the late 1960s and continued through the 1970s. This is why even today, finding a half-dollar in your pocket change is uncommon. Another important piece of history linked to the 1974 half-dollar is the political and economic climate of the time. In 1974, the United States was facing inflation, the aftermath of the Vietnam War, and the ongoing Watergate scandal that eventually forced President Richard Nixon to resign. Against this backdrop, the Kennedy half-dollar stood as a symbolic reminder of an earlier time of national unity and optimism following Kennedy's presidency. There's also a fascinating side story from 1974. During the year, preparations began for what became the 1976 bicentennial half-dollar, featuring the dual date 1776 to 1976 and a special Independence Hall design. But because the mint needed to continue regular coinage until the bicentennial release, the 1974 dated coins were struck in huge numbers. This makes the 1974 half-dollar one of the last regular issues before the two-year run of special bicentennial have. So, when you hold a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, you're not just holding a piece of money, you're holding a slice of American history. It represents the legacy of a president, the transition away from silver coinage, and the changing habits of Americans in the 1970s when half-dollars stopped being used in everyday life. So, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is not just a common coin worth 50 cents. It's a coin with deep historical roots, tied to one of America's most beloved presidents and a period of change in U.S. coinage. Most examples are only worth face value, but high-grade and proof coins can be worth several dollars, while rare errors can fetch hundreds. We're talking about the 1974 United States half-dollar coin, also known as the Kennedy half-dollar. We'll explore its long history, the role condition plays in its value, and how much collectors are willing to pay for it today. Now, one of the most important things collectors ask about is condition. In coin collecting, condition can mean the difference between a coin worth just face value and a coin worth many times more. So let's carefully break down how the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is evaluated based on condition. Most 1974 half-dollars you'll find today have been in circulation, meaning they were used in everyday transactions before being pulled out of pocket change. In these coins, you'll often see Kennedy's hair flattened or worn down, especially above his ear and around the top of his head. The cheek and jawline showing a lot of smoothing with fewer details. On the reverse, the eagle's feathers and the shield details appear flat. Scratches, small nicks, or discoloration from decades of handling. Circulated 1974 half-dollars generally have little to no collector premium and are usually worth only 50 cents to $1. Coins graded AU50 to AU58 show very light wear, usually just on the highest points like Kennedy's cheek or hair. These coins still have most of their original mint luster, that shiny surface that comes from fresh striking. Collectors do like AU coins if they are trying to fill a collection cheaply, but they aren't considered high value. Typically, they sell for about $1 to $2. When we say mint state, it means the coin never entered circulation, it went straight from the mint into storage, a collector set, or a roll. These are graded on a scale from MS60 to MS70, MS60, MS62. The coin is uncirculated but has many contact marks, bag scratches, or dull luster. These may only bring around $2 to $3. MS63, MS64 ***. These coins have better luster, fewer marks, and more eye appeal. They often sell for $5 to $10 MS65, gem uncirculated, ***. Here's where the value jumps. Coins graded MS65 have full luster, very sharp strike, and only a few tiny marks visible under magnification. These coins can sell for $20 to $30 or more, depending on demand. MS66 and above ***. Now we're entering rare territory for the 1974 half dollar. At MS66, the coin is nearly flawless, with strong strike and beautiful surfaces. These coins may be valued at $50 to $100. At MS67 or higher, which are extremely rare, prices can go even higher, sometimes a few $100s if certified by PCGS or NGC. Proof coins are not meant for circulation. They were struck in San Francisco with highly polished dies, giving them mirror-like fields and frosted details. Standard proofs, PR60, PR64, ***, are common and worth around $3 to $6. Deep cameo proofs, PR65, PR70, with strong contrast between frosted Kennedy bust and shiny background, can sell for $15 to $40. A perfect PR70 deep cameo is extremely rare, and those can bring hundreds of dollars at auction. When evaluating a 1974 half dollar, collectors look closely at luster ***. Coins with original mint shine are more desirable. Strike quality ***. Some 1974 halves are weakly struck, meaning details in the hair and eagle feathers aren't sharp. Strong strikes are worth more. Toning ***. Some coins develop colorful toning, rainbow hues, over time, which collectors may pay a premium for if it's attractive. Damage ***. Any coin with cleaning marks, heavy scratches, or rim dings will lose significant value. Even if it's technically uncirculated, cleaning can cut its price down to almost nothing. Condition is key because the 1974 half dollar had such a huge mintage. With over 280 million coins made, average examples are everywhere. Only the high-grade survivors, the coins that were saved immediately after minting and protected from scratches, carry significant collector value. That's why grading services like PCGS or NGC play such an important role. A coin in MS65 or higher that is officially certified will sell much faster and at a higher price compared to an uncertified one. So, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar is a fascinating coin with a deep history and a wide range of values depending entirely on condition. From worn-out circulated examples worth only face value, to gem-quality mint state or deep cameo proofs worth many times more, condition is everything in determining whether your coin is common pocket change or a collector's treasure. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1974 Kennedy half dollar, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Old Charles, and ring the bell for more detailed coin guides. Let me know in the comments, what's the best condition Kennedy half dollar you've ever found? Until next time, happy collecting!